Hi, this is Siraj, your host, Unleashing Talent. Welcome to another podcast. And today we are on podcast number 60, and this is again for great leaders. And the topic is great leaders know the value of alignment. So, are you thinking of increasing your revenue and profitability and be more effective as leaders and CEOs and improve your organizational performance, unleash talent for your human capital, and at the same time, you don't want to make many changes in the organization. You still want to gain 20-30% improvement in your organizational efficiency, productivity, revenue, and margins and net worth, and building higher credibility in the market, getting into new market and stuff like that, right? So these are the questions that many of you have in common in terms of how you could increase your business performance with the same kind of stuff. And you would have heard many times in many forums, and you would have read in many books that in order to change and your business of profitability and revenue, you need to make certain changes. Our pitch and my suggestions and advice today is that before you get into driving changes, you need to consider whether your organization is in the right alignment or not. That's absolutely important. Maybe you might take bigger decisions in your organization for change, and that might need a lot of money, a lot of efforts, a lot of resentment, and shaking your organizational DNA and culture, and it still may not give you that kind of results that you expect. So let me put up a question before you. What do you think, or do you have a car? Let me ask you this one. Do you have a car? And if yes, did you ever take your car to the mechanic and got the alignment done for your car? I want you to recall that situation, and I want you to recall what actually happened. And I also want you to understand what alignment means, right? So I'm sure many of you would say that it is, when that happens, it is like the rapid tire wear and steering wheel being crooked, and when you're driving straight, there's a lot of noise in this steering, and sometimes the car pulls right, sometimes the car pulls left, and sometimes it damages your car, and it spoils the life of the car, and the value of the car gets depreciation. So those are some of the symptoms. If you would like to compare the situation of a misalignment of your vehicle with the organizational misalignment. So the big question is, what could be the scenarios within the organization, right? So you might have met your revenue goal, or you might have increased your revenue goal by 20, 30, 50%. That doesn't mean that your organization is in absolute alignment. Well, there's no exact definition of what the exact absolute alignment is, but still you might need to consider. So this does not mean, as I said, that organization is aligned. And if you feel today your organization is absolutely aligned, and if you do not testify that, in the long run it can hit you badly. And there could be the revenue erosion, and you still have to check the alignment. It could be because of the production or delivery or operations, and they might be impacting your business, or business strategies might be impacting the delivery might be impacting the operations, and operations might be impacting the goals. So if you look at different components of your organization, they are like different wheels, right? So you are doing well are not doing so well, the alignment is absolutely important. The alignment of your strategic vision, goals, and missions are absolutely important. And you can actually measure performance, but you cannot measure alignment, right? That's absolutely tough. We have mechanisms to measure employee satisfaction, customer satisfaction, and performance of the employees, and organizational performance, but it's extremely difficult to measure the alignment. However, you will find many clues and many data that would come to you through different departments that would sometimes give you the clues in terms of whether there is right alignment or not. And needless to say, many of you actually have that gut feel. Many of you have that understanding of the losses that incur or that might incur because of the misalignment within the organization. And if I ask you the question, are you in absolute perfect alignment, you would say no, absolutely not. There's always a scope for better alignment. So I think my message here would be that alignment is an aspect of continuous improvement. So once aligned, it does not mean you're aligned forever. So what happens if you have an issue in the alignment? Do I need to tell you the impact or the loss of it? You know already, don't you? You do. Let me give you another example. It could be something like this. You want to go to a new destination, and let's say you want to go on the moon, and your scientist thinks you can go on the moon, and your pilot feels he cannot fly beyond a certain height, and the ground staff feels you guys have gone crazy with this new idea. See, the idea I'm trying to present before you is how different people think differently while the goal is already set towards getting onto the moon. So different departments will have different perspectives, and we see that very often. And because people work in different verticals and horizontals, and they are deep into it, they develop certain mindsets and skill sets and abilities and a specialization into those areas. So people who are high on strategies, they would have some gap interacting with the guys who are amazing on the delivery. It's like for your survival or growth, you want to go to the digitization way and artificial intelligence route, and delivery and the operations and others get on a journey. But in doubt, right, people need to be in that orbit in the satellite, right? So you have a goal, you have a strategic goal, and then you have different components that are responsible to fly that satellite together, and the satellite remains to be in the orbit, right? So if growth matters to you, the alignment must matter to you. If you are in alignment to your vision, it is easy for you to remain in the solar system of the business and make efforts on that alignment, a very, very consistent effort on that alignment, right? So you can look back into your organization in terms of what are different components that need to get aligned from bottom to the top towards the organizational strategies, vision, mission, and values, and of course the culture, because that's how your customers will see you, right? But primarily I feel there are four main wheels, like the wheels of a car: your strategy, your execution plan or executional strategies, your delivery, and your operations. So these are four that are extremely important, and many others will fall in either of these core contribution groups. So what is your rating? Let me ask you this question. If I ask you, right, to rate your strategy and your execution and your delivery and your operations on a scale of 1 to 10 on alignment, where would you rate them, right? And think about rating them individually and amongst themselves, right? So are these four components talk to each other, communicate with each other? What is your rating on a scale of 10? What is your rating on a scale of 10 on their ability and proficiency of talking to one another, right? And check out that deviation or the gap. So let me give you a very simple example of how you can assess that. So your assessment on a scale of 10 for delivery, whether your delivery team is aligned 10 out of 10 or they are 6 out of 10, and your strategy team and your execution team and your operations, if you rate all of them, let's say 8 or around 8, 9 on a scale of 10, then you can be very, very proud that at this point in today's context, your team is adequately aligned to the goal, right? So it is basically a kind of a tripolar process: the strategy, the alignment, and the excellence. Let me repeat that for you. Business performance would depend on the strategy and alignment and excellence. And let me substantiate each one of these. The strategy is your goal. Alignment is whether people are aligned to that strategy, right? Do people feel your goals as their own goals, as part of the shared goals? Are different departments aligned to it? They understand their roles. So that's the alignment. That's very important. Excellence, to my mind, is each of these four wheels should be running very smoothly. They should be running the way they should be running and the way they are expected to run, with a lot of efficiency and proficiency. So that's the excellence, the quantitative aspect, the qualitative aspect, the sustainability aspect and consistency aspect, the continuous development aspect. So those are excellence elements. So to sum up my discussion today on how great leaders use the power of alignment, great leaders have to think three aspects: their strategy in terms of their goals and how they want to achieve those goals, and how well people are aligned to those strategies and those goals, and whether people are working towards excellence in everything that they do. Now, in the center of these three poles is the business results. So if you have a great strategy, and if the different components are aligned well, and they're operating at an excellence level, the business results are unstoppable. It would happen. And at the same time, you would have highly engaged workshops. So the results can be expected in two areas: business as well as people. So I hope you like this small discussion on the value of alignment and how great leaders align their team and their different departments towards the strategy, and how they together strive for the excellence, and all of these result into business performance and a higher level of human capital engagement. And both of these help you unleash your business potential, and it helps you unleash your employees' potential. Thanks for your time. And next podcast, hopefully we would be talking about shared value or power of appreciation, optimism. There are a lot of topics that are on the way to come. So keep listening to us. Hopefully this was helpful. Thanks a lot for your time. I truly appreciate it.